The song Last of My Kind by Jason Isbell is capoed on the 2nd fret and otherwise is in standard tuning and played in the shapes of G. One note about what Jason Isbell's doing, he's actually using a pick and his 2nd and 3rd and probably his pinky finger to be picking as well. Finger picking while also pluck picking. I'm not proficient enough to do that, so I'm just using my thumb as the pick and using my 1st and 2nd fingers to pick. If you're not good at finger picking, you could just play with a pick outright and it would also be fine. So anyway, the first chord is a G, and then it goes from a G to a G7. So I lift my pinky finger up from where I've got it on the 1st string 3rd fret and plant down my 1st finger on the 1st string 1st fret to give that 7th sound. So from that to that, and then it moves into a C. And throughout this song you can hear Jason Isbell a lot on the 4th string, going from 4th string open to 4th string hammered onto the 2nd fret in many different chords. Sometimes it's in a C chord, sometimes it's in a G chord. So just kind of keep that in mind in figuring out the nuances of how to play this. So you've got G, G7, C, to a G, to a D, and whenever you come to this D, do not play it with something fretting the 1st string 2nd fret like a standard D. Leave the 1st string open because you have that open 1st string sound in there, from the G to the D, back to the G, to a G7th, to a C, to a G, to the C, to the G. And that's the verse and kind of the chorus. The way that in the chorus where he's saying, "Am I the last of my kind," the way that I play that hammer on and the way that I hear it being played is to pluck the C and then pluck the open 4th string and then pluck the open 3rd string and then hammer down into the 2nd. So instead of that feel, it's more of, it's kind of a delayed hammer on. You've plucked, fretted on the C note, then plucked the open 4th string, open 3rd string, and then you're coming back to hammer down into the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Whereas usually you'd probably want to go pluck that note and then immediately hammer on the next string. The next string is open while he's saying, "Am I the last of my kind," in that C. And then whenever you get to the G, it's a much quicker hammer on. It's not the delayed, it's the... And let me play that again so that you can discern the difference. So the slower hammer on in the C, or the delayed hammer on, and then the G. Then after it says, "Am I the last of my kind?" he walks down from the G to an E minor, standard E minor, then up to a C, and then back to the G again, where it holds on the G for a second, and then walks back down to the E minor, back to the C, then to the G. And then it goes up to D, again with the high E string ringing open, and then to an A minor. I think at some point in the song it does that. I hear it hit and pull off from your first finger on the second string, first fret, and then pull off with your ring finger from the third string, second fret. And then into the C. Back to the G, and here he's saying, "Am I the last of my kind?" And those are the chords of this song. During the break at the end, it's just the E minor progression again. E minor to C, G. E minor, C, G. Then up to the D. A minor, C, G. And those are the chords of this song. The electric part in this song is really pretty nondescript, and I'm still capoed on the second fret. I'm not sure if the electric's capoed or not, but I'm staying capoed for ease of effort. The very first thing that you hear electric in the song is actually a set of keys, and they are playing a suspended chord over a G, which I am playing like this. So if you're familiar with a standard G chord, take your second finger, and instead of having it on the 5th string second fret, move it to the third string, to the 4th string second fret, and then put your pointer finger down on the second string first fret. So it's like part of a C chord that you've got in there inside of this G chord, and it goes from open second string and third string, open second string and 4th string to fretted second string and 4th string with your first finger and your second finger. Alright, the rest of the electric stuff that's happening throughout the verses and choruses are pretty much swells that are happening with different phrasings of the chord progression. Sometimes I play the 1 as a D formation up here on the relative 7th fret. So if you come to the 7th fret and make a D chord, that is the same thing as this G1. So I strike it and then swell into it with my volume. The C chord, sometimes I play it on first finger on the 1st string 3rd fret, pinky finger on the 2nd string 5th fret, ring finger on the 3rd string 5th fret, and swell into that as a C. The D, take this exact same formation and slide it up 2 frets. And that's a good D to swell on. Sometimes the C I will play with the 1st string open, 2nd string fretted on the 1st fret, and then 3rd string open. Sometimes the G I will play, or the 1 I will play with my 1st finger just barring across the 1st and 2nd strings on the relative 3rd fret. So anyway, any voicing of the 1, 4, and 5 along the chord progression are perfectly fine swells to be doing as an electric on this song. And then the more prominent part that you hear it go. The way that you do that is you hammer on with the 4th string from the open 4th string to the 4th string fretted on the 2nd fret, then open or hit the open 3rd string behind it, and then slide with, I use my 2nd finger from the 3rd string 2nd fret to the 4th fret, then come back down to the 3rd string 2nd fret, open the 3rd string, hit the 4th string open, and then fret the 4th string on the 2nd fret. And then I'm not exactly sure what it does. I kind of run up into this G voicing where I slide up again with my ring finger on the 3rd string from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, and then I put my pointer finger down on the 2nd string 3rd fret behind it. And then there's a slide part that you hear come in, and I don't have a slide, so I just played it with my fingers. So here's how you would do it. It's going, so it's going relative 12th fret to relative 10th fret, then 12th fret again to the relative 8th fret. But since it's a slide, I'm doing that by bending the string. So I start on the 10th fret and I bend up to where the 12th would be, and then come back down, and then come back up again and back down, and land on the relative 8th fret of the 2nd string. And then it comes and slides up to the 2nd string 5th fret, and then down to the 2nd string 3rd fret, and then the 3rd string 5th fret. And then there's a quick little lick that ends that up that goes, and you play that by moving to the 3rd string 4th fret. I use my ring finger and pull off from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret, where you need to have your 1st finger laid down on the 3rd string. Then pull off again to an open 3rd string, and then fret the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and then play the open 3rd string behind it. Those are pretty much the main recognizable electric parts that I can hear in this song.